Charles, listen to me. This is a breach of contract. You were hired to secure our assets as agreed upon, and you've left them vulnerable. We're talking billions in damages here.
I don't give a damn about your assets, Nancy, not anymore. We followed our contract to the letter, and in return, you stuck my men in here under government-issued quarantine expected to protect empty buildings in a dying city.
Charles, listen to me. This is a breach of contract. You were hired to secure our assets as agreed upon, and you've left them vulnerable. We're talking billions in damages here.
I don't give a damn about your assets, Nancy, not anymore. We followed our contract to the letter, and in return, you stuck my men in here under government-issued quarantine expected to protect empty buildings in a dying city. Well, I can't ask them to do that.
Charles, listen to me. This is a breach of contract. You were hired to secure our assets as agreed upon, and you've left them vulnerable. We're talking billions in damages here.
I don't give a damn about your assets, Nancy, not anymore. We followed our contract to the letter, and in return, you stuck my men in here under government-issued quarantine expected to protect empty buildings in a dying city. Well, I can't...
He's here somewhere.
Nice work, Agent. Good to know we can depend on you.
Finally! Oh, thank you so much. That was terrifying. Now I need to get the hell out of here.
Good work ought to be rewarded. And when there's no good work, I'll settle for lucky work that gets the job done. You can give yourself credit for whichever one you like. Either way, I have something for you at the safe house. A token of appreciation, however you earned it.
After things settle back down, you should come see me about a job. I could use someone as efficient and goal-oriented as you. What you just showed me was a hell of a resume.
Welcome back to the New York Podcast. I'm Rick Black. You're listening to part one of my Q&A with JTF liaison, Lauren O'Malley. Thanks for having me. Lauren, I heard reports about the green poison getting worse. Now, one of the more crazy rumors I've heard, bodies are floating with gas and exploding. Can you comment on that?
I'm no expert on viral effects of decomposition, so I'd have to speak with Dr. Candle for more information. However, I can tell you floating is a natural occurrence in cadavers.
Sure. We've all seen the extra large raccoon or possum on the road, haven't we?
Yeah, gross, but yes.
Pretty rare for that to happen so early in the process of decom, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't have any way of knowing without specifics, but floating is normal.
As far as you know.
No, as far as hundreds of years of medicine go.
This wouldn't be another one of those instances of the JTF hiding information from the public, would it?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, Tyler.
We're pretty used to being lied to by the government, so it wouldn't be a shock to find out that you're covering things up now.
I didn't come here to be brought into your world of crazy conspiracy.
Now they want us to move out of here.
Agent, you're needed at Camp Clinton over on the West Side Piers. Make your way here as soon as you can.
I've got a situation here. One of the nurses found...
Hey, Agent. I need you to check in with the new guy, Kakich, over at the terminal. He's got something big on his hands and he could use your help.
I'm just really surprised.
Readings indicate an echo nearby.
Just not right to leave them like that.
Here! Make it last, okay?
My time to come.
Say your prayers. This is over with! Maybe I got some, maybe I don't.
Don't be an asshole. I saw them.
There's a lot of heavily armed assholes around here.
Here I am, Aaron Keener, the First Wave's prodigal son. Normally I'd do this face-to-face, but I'm not 100% sure which way you'll jump. You act one way when Ms. Lau is watching, and another way entirely when you're off the leash. That's an interesting contradiction. You see, I think that deep down, you get it. You know, the old rules, laws, governments, those things died on Black Friday. But the feral PMCs, the convicts, the ones smart enough and good enough to take what they need, they'll survive. Me? I'm gonna prosper. Oh, you could too, but you took an oath, right? You got a duty. Those are both ways of saying that your conscience is fucking you. You ask yourself, who has earned a right to tell you what to do? Do you know how many agents died to hold the Dark Zone just for the brass to give up and put a wall around it? You don't believe me? You should check the place out for yourself. But the people you're working for, they're irrelevant now. Amherst changed how the game is played, and I have got the vision to win. I got Chernenko, I got a DNA printer, and a very interesting recipe book. I'm gonna write my own rules. You should think about getting in on this thing. I'll be seeing you.
Agent, the information you found in that lab was the crown jewel.
I think we can break this thing now. But we've got some more information. A voice from the grave. Listen to what Amherst has to say.
What you're looking at is the smallpox virus, one of the deadliest pathogens on the planet. For centuries, it did a wonderful job of helping keep the human population in check. But times change, and sometimes Mother Nature needs a hand in improving her creations. Like, say, speeding them up a little bit, making them contagious when they should be quietly incubating in a host, or making them more lethal. I didn't come up with the approach on my own. My friend Vitaly is one of the pioneers in the field, and the idea has been around for years. Genome as data. You see, once we digitized DNA, we made it infinitely mutable. We could do 1,000 virtual variations in the time it used to take to grow a 1 lab grade generation of pathogens. And we could pick the best, most lethal combinations and make them real. That's how you make a killer virus, you see. Mix in genetic code from other diseases, and you move the sliders all the way up on lethality and virulence. The goal was a 90% mortality rate. I'm not sure my green poison is going to quite hit that, but honestly, that's just details. As long as most of humanity goes, the Earth stands a fighting chance. Technically, technology is what's killing the planet. But that's not really the case. It's the greed that drives the technology. But a funny thing happened on the way to $100 genome maps and 3D printed plastic toys. Someone figured out those technologies could be repurposed, modified for the greater good. Me. Now, my virus is going to do what nature's always done. Decide who lives and who dies. And if nature decides I die, then I die. If nothing else, I'll have a lot of company. Natural selection at its finest, helped along by a little unnatural genetic manipulation. It's all data, really. Life's just a method of processing it. The same way I processed the smallpox genome on my laptop. And who's to say that wasn't the plan all along? If, by some miracle, you survive green poison, then nature's decided you deserve to live. The rest of us shouldn't and won't. Godspeed. I'll see you in hell.
You are now entering a safe area.
Wish I could get up there myself.
Hey, don't walk away. Look it over. And what's your ass out there, huh?
Don't give up on us.
Keep fighting a good fight. Do what I can from here. Just who I was looking for. I need some meds back. Watch yourself.
I'm sure I've got everything you...
I do believe I would murder someone right now for a hot nut.
Agent, this is Kekich. Swing by when you get a chance. We've got these Shade tactical terminals left behind in the Dark Zone. They are loaded with heavy-duty operational data, and we need to get to that data before any rogue agents get the chance. We're gonna need your help with this one.
Hey, anything...
Agent, before we pulled out of the Dark Zone, the brass airdropped in some Shade tech stations to coordinate local ops. Thing is, those tactical sites are still in there, sitting on all sorts of intel. We want it back, and so does every rogue agent in the city. We need you to get a team together and download whatever you can from those stations before someone else does.
Oh, hey, Agent. What you are looking at is one of the Shade tactical terminals airdropped into the DZ before we pulled out. They were supposed to help coordinate ops, but well, that didn't work out so great. So they have just been sitting there, rusting. Until now. They're waking up, and they are loaded with operational data we need. The terminal will bring you up to speed on how to get them fully online.
Agent, let's get you up to speed on what you'll be dealing with out there. We need you to recover critical data from Shade tech stations that got left behind in the Dark Zone before rogue agents can intercept it. You'll have to capture all 3 stations at each objective to start uploading data. You can enable turret and pulse fortifications at certain objectives to help defend them. Activating them requires Shade tech that you can recover from enemies and find in crates in the Dark Zone. Oh, and another thing. Be aware of the 2 tactical boosts you can use to enhance your squad's performance. Points for kills and point multiplier. You can activate these with Shade tech as well. Remember that you're part of a squad, and everybody has a role. Collecting Shade tech to power up tactical boosts or fortifications can be just as important as securing objectives. Teamwork is the key to winning this fight. I need the whole file before I can decrypt it, so make sure we get to 100% before the enemy does. Good hunting.
Man, I can't...
Agent, you're needed at Camp Clinton over on the West Side Piers. Make your way here as soon as you can.
I got something you need to shut down.
You're gonna like what you see. Hey, catch you another time.
Today, for the first time,
Warning, now leaving the safe area.
Nice to see you again.
This is good stuff. Man, nothing good. What's over, you know?
This man.
Too bad for you.
Forget about it.
Nobody's gonna tell me what to do.
Get the hell out of here. Shit. Didn't see that coming. They got him!